In Dangerous Liaisons, Uma Thurman plays a young lady who's been in a convent for 10 long years. This is a character, I guess, ripe for a conquest. Do you see the character as somebody who's bursting with life but's been corseted in?
Yes, I do. She's definitely bursting with life, and she's definitely eager to experience. And she has been corseted in insofar as she has been denied experience.
As you understand it, was this characteristic then of the young ladies, the young aristocrats of that time, that they would be closeted and confined like that?
If their parent wished to protect them, if their parent wished to protect them and give them that kind of education as well on top of it, grammatical education versus any kind of life education. Not in every case, though. There were many fanciful ones that couldn't care less. They simply lived their life.
From the sensibility of a young lady of today, emotionally now, how do you look back upon that kind of lifestyle that was imposed upon young women? Many feelings about that?
Yeah, well, it has a lot to do with feminism. I mean, it has a lot to do with women being denied the opportunity to have a life, really, and basically being confined to certain areas of frivolous existence that they had to toy in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Glenn made a great statement about how it's because of that confinement of alleys for them to exist that it's especially prevalent to this story, that it left them the field of sexual intrigue.
Whereas
as
today,
a field to romp in.
Today we seem to have the exact opposite deal, where it's everybody's supposed to be honest with everybody else. Everybody's
Which is a lie.
deceitful with everybody else. Yeah, where is there more deceit?
What, is there more deceit in the 18th century or the
Yeah.
20th century?
Are we kidding ourselves about the honesty today?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, I think sometimes people are honest and other times they lie. And I'm sure it's the same story then.
Knowing the difference, that's the rub, huh?
I guess knowing the difference and hopefully being fortunate enough to surround yourself with those who have no intention of lying to you.
Let's talk about Uma. Let's start with Uma.
What's that?
Yeah, what is that?
Ask me a question.
I mean, is it a family name?
Uma?
U-M-A?
Uma is my first name.
Mm-hmm.
They liked the way it sounded.
Really?
Yeah.
It was like a sound kind of thing.
No. It's a name that is existing in every other country than this one, actually.
So it's high time.
Yes.
The standard bearer.
That's right.
You're still very young, 17 or 18, correct?
18.
Okay. Although you've got several pictures behind you already.
Yes.
Tell us about those.
I did an independent film in New York when I was 16 that played in some art houses and disappeared. And then I did a movie called Johnny Be Good, which played in some fun houses and disappeared. And then I did a movie called Adventures of Baron Munchausen, which has yet to be released and is being finished still. Very complicated movie. And that will come out this spring. And then Liaisons.
Working with Terry Gilliam must have been a trip, huh?
Oh, yes.
Isn't he a blast?
Yes. Terry's great. And I admired his movies a great deal beforehand.
You know, I was outside wondering about the questions we'd be talking about, and I thought to myself, should I ask her about the nudity scene or not?
Well, you wouldn't want to be unique, would you?
It's one of those things where you almost hesitate because it's brought up all the time, and yet at the same time, I would hate to pass up the opportunity. Were there qualms, nervousness about it?
Of course.
And were there those who advised you not to do a scene like that?
To tell you the truth, people seem to be awfully affected by this scene. It didn't seem to me to be such an incredibly large issue at the time. I mean, it is difficult to do, yes. I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for the fact that it's an important moment for that character.
Absolutely.
To be...
She's almost abandoned at that point.
Well, yes, she goes that far, and that's a crucial statement about her journey, because it's the last step. And before lots of other things happen to her. But it seemed to me part of the story, and I had such respect for this story. It didn't seem to me exploitative or ugly or cheap. So.
In conclusion, let's reverse this. Instead of taking the clothes off, let's put them on. Have you ever had occasion to wear such gowns and fabrics as this before in a role?
Never like this exactly. No, Munchausen was also 18th century, but it was very different, very
And
bizarre.
How much preparation time did you have to have for some of those outfits?
I think I had several trips to London for fittings and so on. Jim Atchison was the costume designer who did the costumes for Last Emperor, and so they're just beautiful, and he did a beautiful job.
And then on the set, how much time did it take to...
Every day, well, in the beginning it took longer, and as time went on, it sped up slightly. But the lacing is the difficult thing. I mean,
Yeah?
yeah, well, they're all laced individually, like a shoelace that's that long. So, and each time you have to, it's not like your shoes, you can just slip it on and pull. You have to undo the whole thing and do it back up again.
Well, does it strike you as ironic that in a society that we perceive as being so bent on seduction, they wear clothes that are so darn difficult to get off?
Well, they're very difficult to get off, and that was a very funny aspect, actually, of the whole thing. There's something very beautiful about it, though. Something incredibly beautiful about the way it's terribly uncomfortable, and women suffered a great deal because of the way they had to dress, but something beautiful, beautiful about it. There are many, many poems written about the décolleté
Yes.
of the classic décolleté, its effect, the long necks, and so on.
Uma Thurman, it's been a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you very much.
She is in Dangerous Liaisons, and we're here in Los Angeles. I'm John Tibbetts for KCTV5.